On the Series 65 exam, you must be able to distinguish between fiscal and monetary policy. Fiscal policy is controlled by Congress and the President and involves two primary tools: government spending and taxation. Monetary policy, on the other hand, is the domain of the Federal Reserve. For today, we are focused squarely on fiscal policy. The exam will test your understanding of its two stances: expansionary and contractionary. Expansionary fiscal policy is used to combat a recession by stimulating the economy. This is achieved by either increasing government spending or cutting taxes. For example, if the economy is in a downturn, Congress might pass a bill to fund major infrastructure projects. This direct injection of government spending creates jobs and boosts demand. Alternatively, the government could cut income taxes, leaving more money in people's pockets to spend and invest, which also increases aggregate demand. The goal is to expand economic activity. Conversely, contractionary fiscal policy is used to fight high inflation. The government can either decrease its spending or increase taxes. Pulling money out of the economy helps to slow down price increases. A common exam trap is confusing the tools. If a question mentions changing tax rates or new government spending programs, the answer is fiscal policy. If it talks about the money supply, interest rates, or the Federal Reserve, that's monetary policy. The exam expects you to know that Keynesian economic theory is the primary driver behind fiscal policy, advocating for government intervention to manage the economy. Now let's consider the consequences. When the government spends more than it collects in tax revenue, it runs a budget deficit. To cover this deficit, the Treasury must borrow money by issuing government securities like Treasury bonds, bills, and notes. This accumulated borrowing over time constitutes the national debt. A key concept tested is crowding out. This occurs when heavy government borrowing to fund deficit spending drives up interest rates, making it more expensive for private companies to borrow and invest, which can hinder economic growth. The exam may present a scenario where the government implements a large spending package and ask about the potential impact on interest rates and private investment. You also need to understand the political nature of these decisions. Cutting spending or raising taxes is often politically unpopular, which can create a lag in implementing contractionary policy. To remember the difference between the policies, use this simple phrase: expansionary is for recession. Contractionary is for inflation. Think ER and CI. The government expands its role to fight a recession and contracts it to fight inflation. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.